Hey, welcome back to my channel, Duct Tape Mechanic, and to another episode of my series, Free on Facebook, a series of videos in which I find things for free and I show you how to repair them, repurpose them, or recycle them in another manner. In this video, I got this Kenmore washing machine that's not draining. So if you have a Kenmore, Whirlpool, or Maytag washing machine and it's not draining, I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot and fix that issue in this video. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more DIY and tinkering videos. So here's the washing machine we'll be fixing in this video. This particular machine is a Kenmore 500 series washing machine, but this video applies to pretty much any washing machine that has these lights followed by this button right here. That includes Kenmore, Whirlpool, Maytag, Amana. They're all pretty much just the same washing machine. Unfortunately for me, this one has a lot of rust, including rust on the frame of the machine. So I'll be showing you how to do this repair, but this machine will be parted out after that because I don't feel comfortable with the structural integrity of the machine due to the rust. And there's more rust underneath the frame because before I make these videos, I do troubleshoot and fix the issue. Then I make the video, so that way I'm not fumbling around in the video and this goes more smoothly. But this will become a parts machine for me, but it will hopefully be helpful to you. And so the first thing we want to do is check all the hoses for clogs. So there's three specific hoses that we'll be looking at, and the first one is the main drain hose. So all you got to do is unhook it, take that off, and check for any sort of clog. That's pretty easy to do, and we'll do that next. So here's some of that extensive rust I was talking about. There's also some on the frame of the machine as well. But don't worry, this will provide for plenty of parts. So here's the drain hose. And so what we want to do is just maybe run some water through there and see if there's any sort of clog. And that'll take care of that one. But after that hose, if you figure out that there's no clog here, we can move further upstream. And the next hose we'll be taking a look at is the hose that comes from the outlet of the pump, then connects to this drain hose. And to get to that, you'll have to take off this little portion right here that protects the pressure hose, and then we'll undo the screws for the drain hose connector and take this entire back panel off as well. And that'll give us access to the hose that's on the outlet of the pump. So we'll do the same thing for that one, unhook it from the pump and see if there's any sort of clog on that one. Alright, so we'll disconnect it from the pump right here and take a look at this hose as well. It just pulls right off, and you can also just blast it with water, and if there's any sort of clog, it'll come right out. And that's actually, I believe, what the issue with this one was. When I took it out, got the clog out of there. But I'll further proceed and show you the last possible hose that could cause a clog and thus prevent your washer from draining. Alright, the third hose that you need to test to see if it's clogged is the inlet hose, the inlet to the pump hose, so that's coming from the tub to the pump. In order to get to that one, we're going to actually have to tip the washer on its back. Alright, so we'll disconnect it first from the tub and from the drain pump itself. Alright, so this one's pretty easy to tell if it's clogged or not, but you'd be surprised at what you find in these hoses. And while you're down here, you can also check to see the outlet of the tub as well. As you can see that there actually is still something in there as well, so you can use your pliers or maybe get some needle nose pliers to pull whatever that is out of there. But that's pretty easy, and clogs are pretty obvious, but those are definitely the first thing you want to do. The next thing I'll show you is to how to check your drain pump for both electrical and mechanical failure. Alright, so this is right here is the drain pump, and it's got this connector right here. Your connector may be the same one, or maybe slightly different, but they're all pretty much the same in principle. And we'll unplug that, then we'll just take the screws off. There's one there. It's kind of a little bit tricky to get to. There's two, the second one right there, and the third one is right there. Once we undo those three, this whole drain pump will come off, and I'll show you how to electronically test this and how to look for some signs of mechanical failure as well. Alright, so we've got the pump out. We'll go ahead and put our meter into resistance mode over here, and we'll just see what the resistance of the motor windings for the pump motor is. So we'll put the leads to the terminals right here, and we're getting a resistance, hopefully you can see that there, about 13 ohms. There we go, 13.7 ohms. So if your resistance, I would say, is anywhere from 10 to 25 ohms, then your drain pump's most likely good. If you put your leads on here and you get an OL, like currently like this, that means there's an open circuit here and the windings are no longer connected, so the pump is bad. Or if you get a really high resistance, that also indicates another issue, so that would also mean that the drain pump itself is electronically failed. So that would be it. That would mean you'd probably have to replace this drain pump. Alright, so after verifying that the pump is electronically okay, we can also check some of the mechanical properties as well, such as to see if the impeller isn't bound up or anything like that. So what we'll do is take off these screws around the perimeter right here. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll get access to the impeller. So after taking off the screws, you should be able to just take this off. We'll get access to the impeller. So you just want to make sure that this rotates. It should just click like this, freely, like so. If it's bound up, or if you feel like it's not moving, then most likely your drain has mechanically failed, or sometimes there may be actual clog in here as well. But this one, it looks mechanically okay, and that's pretty much the only thing you can test for in terms of being able to tell if it's mechanically bad or not. So that's how we figure out whether the drain pump itself is good or not. Alright, so after you verified that there's no clog in the system and that the drain pump itself is electronically and mechanically sound, the only next thing that could be causing this is a control board issue. Oftentimes, or when it's in a control board issue, these relays get stuck and they'll burn up. Just take a look at that, for example. And so one thing I like to do is, if I find this drain pump is electronically bad, what I'll do is I'll open up the console and check to see if the board itself isn't burned up, or that was the reason causing the drain pump to go bad. Because if you put a new drain pump onto a washing machine that has a bad control board, guess what? You're gonna fry your drain pump as well, the new one as well. So it's always good to troubleshoot a little bit further to find the cause of it, what's actually going on. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to do, but sometimes it's a little bit more obvious, like obvious signs of burn marks. So if you open up the main board and you see burn marks, go ahead and replace the board, then the pump. So hopefully this helps troubleshoot your washing machine that won't drain. And if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up sign.